Why did Grinding Gear Games give us early access versions of Path of Exile 2? Well, the answer is simple. They will take the player's feedback, cross-reference it with their design intent, and then make adjustments to improve the experience for the full release on the game. In my opinion so far, Path of Exile 2 is an extremely polished experience. The gameplay is snappy, it's responsive, it's smooth, the graphics is amazing, and a lot of people are having a lot of fun with the game. There's a lot of content here, and there's a lot to love, but this is the first version of the game, the first public version of the game. This is the first time the developers are getting feedback outside the company on how the game actually plays and how the game actually feels. From a developer standpoint, it's impossible to get things right exactly how they want the first time. They simply cannot know. They just don't have the data to understand what can break the game, what doesn't break the game, and how players on different skill levels will react to the gameplay systems and the gameplay mechanics. And that's what the beta is for. It's so millions of players can get their hands in the game, they can play it, all different demographics, all different skill levels, and then with all this feedback, Grinding Gear Games can now assess whether the experience that they labbed and they tested and that they wanted is being communicated. All players should be able to give their feedback on all skill levels. I think the idea that someone should just get good is a very narrow-minded way of thinking. It's not the intention I'm getting from the devs when I listen to them talk. When I listen to developers of Grinding Gear Games talk, they sound like they want to create a game that has very deep mechanics but can appeal to a more casual fan base and is easier to get into. What I will say to those who don't like when players complain without articulating their points in a constructive manner is that sometimes people actually can't articulate why they are having a bad experience because they simply don't know why they are having a bad experience. You don't know what you don't know. Believe it or not, I actually think there is value in someone being able to express their dislike for a certain gameplay mechanic without understanding it, simply because if enough people do it, that in and of itself will tell the developers that maybe, just maybe, it's not explained that well in game. I think when you take the time and you do the research, a lot of the gameplay systems in the game makes a lot of sense and it's understandable, but a lot of the times those resources are outside the game. So when a player gives feedback on why something doesn't work for them and then there is no explanation in game, at least the developers will understand, hey, maybe we need to do something about this, maybe we should be communicating this a little bit better. While I do think people should be detailed in their complaints about the game, if they can't, they can't. And they still should be able to express that opinion. We legitimately don't actually know what the full design experience is supposed to be like because we are not the developers. All we can do is provide feedback. That's all we can do. And it's all we should do. And it's why we're here. It's why this early access exists. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Your feedback would be much appreciated. Give it a like if you liked it. If you like this content, please subscribe. I'm thinking for my next video, I do a suggestions list for some of the things I would like the game to teach you in game. Just so new players can understand the systems a bit better without having to use external resources. So I'll be putting that together within the next week, hopefully. If you want to follow me on Twitch, you could follow me at CableGCorner. Thanks for watching again, and see you next time.